I think she came back yesterday. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us on a Monday evening. And of course, you know Joyeeta already, so I'm going to not spend too much time doing the introductions since we're a half an hour show today. So let's just dive right into it. Right, the first question I want to ask you, and this is important because the Amethi Raebareli seat declaration took so long. It was almost like, they were so uncertain about whether to field people. Some people say that it was family politics that was delaying things because there was an opacity wherein people didn't know what was going on. Have you, in your long experience with political journalism in particular, ever seen anything like this where the Gandhis were so unsure about their bastions and had to wait so long to declare candidacy?
Well, not really. I do not remember. And if you ask me, there was a full cottage industry happening last week about where Rahul Gandhi will be contesting from. And, there was this so many things that we heard about, fight in the family, about Rahul Gandhi refusing to contest. In fact, we have even printed a piece which says that Rahul was not at all keen to contest from UP. And it was actually Akhilesh Yadav who was putting pressure. Then pressure was coming in from I would say Mallikarjun Kharge and all these things. So ultimately, he kind of, and then the sister wanted to contest, but the brother was not keen that she should contest, and so many things happened. And it seems it was only in the night before the last day of filing was, I think, on the 3rd of May. It was only on this night of 2nd of May that it was decided that he would contest from Raebareli and not from Amethi. There was so much drama. No, I do not remember this kind of speculation and conjecture going on about what exactly is going on. No, in my living, I can't remember this.
But tell me something, Joyita, this conflict between the siblings, one hears a lot about it. How much truth is there to it? Because I mean, if Priyanka Vadra and her husband has publicly come out and said he's willing to contest elections, but neither of them find any space.
Well, if you ask anybody in the Congress, you talk to them, they're saying on the surface there is nothing. Even when Rahul Gandhi is going to submit, he went for his nomination, Priyanka Vadra was there. And we are hearing, as we were discussing earlier also, what we are witnessing, Priyanka will be campaigning for the brother in a major way. So the thing is, you see, so on the surface of it, there is nothing. Things are okay, perfectly fine. But there are differences. There is a talk that, the brother in particular does not want all three family members to be in parliament, if not for anything else, without getting into the part about sibling rivalry or not, without speculating about sibling rivalry or not. What we know for kind of know for uh, that he is not keen for all three family members to be in parliament at the same time. So because that would give grave rise to grave charges of nepotism, which they are already suffering from. There are so many charges being directed at them. So perhaps that is the reason he doesn't want all of them. But then there is another camp that is saying the mother wants the son to be in the forefront. This, Advaita, there are all kinds of rumors that are going on. But yes, there was definitely a divide, it seems, in the family about whether Rahul would contest from there. It seems Priyanka was ready to contest, but that did, or at least the husband should. But it did not materialize.
It did not materialize yet again. And I think this time round, at least Robert Vadra made a very direct pitch to be the candidate from Amethi. And I think it would have been an interesting fight as opposed to what we have right now. Thank you, Sandeep, for joining our lady special. Really nice to have you with us. You're on mute. You're on mute.
How can I miss the opportunity of seeing so many pretty ladies? Even if Pallavi Ghosh is not yet there. So I just saw. You can't hear me?
No, I can hear you. I can hear you. No,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Since I saw Pallavi say she's late, I said, let me stand in another course standing in for her till she arrives.
What do
But did
you
you
make of
hear,
this?
Joyita?
Yeah, go
Joyita,
ahead.
have you heard that two Congress, ex-chief ministers are going to camp in Raebareli and Amethi till the elections to campaign, Bhupesh Baghel and Ashok Gehlot? So Congress seems to
I'm
be
certain
putting
they
in.
will be doing it.
That's what I heard, that these two people are going and camping there to provide support to Priyanka Gandhi. So Congress is not taking any chances, it seems. It's putting all the big guns there. And I suppose when these big guns come, they will also come with, big bag full of resources. So, so
It is.
that's very interesting. And yet, once they said Smriti, who?
That's a question for Joyita, or you're just making a statement?
No, I
No,
said no,
they're
overall
saying it.
the comment, but Smriti was a statement really, but it shows that there are huge stakes being attached by Congress to these constituencies, and therefore, uh, in a way, I suppose it was inevitable that some Gandhi had to contest, because there were a lot of people inside Congress also were saying that if they desert these home boroughs or bastion, that could really, really hurt the Congress long term. And so that's that's interesting. And so they would try to prove a point by trying to probably wrest both the rivalry. I was always with them, but trying to wrest also Amethi from Smriti. Uh, Interesting battle ahead.
Yeah.
Pallavi would surely have more.
Sorry, I
Pallavi,
joined late.
welcome.
I've just come back from work. So
No, it's.
bye.
I'm glad you joined from home and not from the
So
car.
that
So
was the
I
whole
appreciate
idea,
that.
not to be in the car. Hi, Joyita.
Yeah, because we've been heavily
I
trolled because in the last week both of you have been in the car, and today when we were planning the show, Joyita was like, "Oh, I need that lamp to light up and this and that," and I said, "My God, I never heard anything this professional on the show." So I responded appropriately, like, "No, no, it's okay. Little tell, I know I tell her that we don't care." People appearing in the dark. But Pallavi, you kind of raised this first, this sort of proxy battle between Smriti and Priyanka. I mean, why doesn't Priyanka just go ahead and contest? Why, this whole the need for being the proxy, having the proxy in place, and then taking on the campaigning and the you know all of the rest of it that comes with it.
So, Advaita, when there were these internal Gandhi family discussions which were taking place, and the three of them, and of course, this was also conveyed outside, that's how we came to know. One of the main reasons why they said that we should not have Priyanka Vadra contest is for two reasons, actually. One, of course, three Gandhis in the parliament, that is what Rahul's objection was. Second, Priyanka herself gave this argument that, I want to campaign for the entire party across the country. I'll go to all the areas, I'll campaign. If I contest either from Amethi or Raebareli, I'm going to be tied down. But here's the irony of it. She is going to be tied down now because we've been told that from today onwards till 18th, because voting is on 20th, from today onwards till 18th, she is going to be there. So even if she was contesting, she would have been tied down only till 18 because campaigning for these two areas finishes. And then she can go and move on to other phases. But now she's going to be in Amethi and Raebareli. That's one point. So if you are going to be tied down, then why did you not even contest? And the second thing is, in case Rahul Gandhi wins both from Wayanad and Raebareli, the chances of Priyanka stepping into Raebareli in his place cannot be ruled out. So you then become the proxy candidate. So how bad does it make you look? And third is, I know Sandeep keeps on arguing with me and disagreeing with me. My comparison of hers is with Rahul Gandhi, and I've followed both of them since 2004. She's definitely more savvy. What you are seeing on TV is just a small part of how she is off TV. The way she talks to us, the way she talks to the media. You'll never catch her say things like, "Oh, they are Godi. Why should I talk to you? Aishwarya and Rai ka dance dikha rahe ho. She may say the same thing, but in a more polished, suave manner, which actually stings even more. Though, to be very fair to her, she's never been like that. She's actually very nice to all of us. Like, things like pani le lo, nimbu pani le lo, and all that kind of stuff. These are very good playing to the gallery. But at the same time, when she attacks the PM, I think it registers much more than what he says. She has not known to make any gaffes. You wouldn't have heard her make some big blunders in her speeches like Rahul does. So there was a very fit case, according to me, why she could have contested. If not Amethi, definitely Raebareli. And this logic which is being given, ye dharohar ki baat hai, legacy ki baat hai. So from the grandmother it goes to the bahu, so bahu se beta. Then you are being very parochial. You are being misogynist. You don't think a woman can carry on the legacy. I'm sorry, that doesn't work anymore. I mean, she is a person who's always talked about ladki ho, lad sakti ho. All the more reason she could have vindicated it by saying, I think it's time that I contest from Raebareli. She would have won. Raebareli would have been a cakewalk for her. Abhi, if you go to Raebareli, Abhi, you will find more posters of her than of Rahul Gandhi.
Interesting. And that is a prestigious seat for the family, because Indira Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, both of them,
Feroz
basically
Gandhi, first
Feroz.
election, Feroz Gandhi, yeah.
So it's definitely a prestigious seat. Why, Pallavi, one more question to you before I move back to Joyita. Why does Robert Vadra not get space? He
Where?
has openly come out. A ticket. Why doesn't he get a ticket? I mean, from Moradabad, from Amethi, from, wherever, Raebareli even.
Well, I think that would be a bit much at this point of time, no? I mean, you are not giving it to Priyanka on the grounds that it's too much into the family. At least she's done political work. She's been campaigning, she's been, going out, giving speeches. Vadra has not done that. So I don't think that would be a bit too much. And I think just Vadra threw a googly. I think it was just a kind of a smoke screen. And because, what I found is that when he was giving interviews after interviews where he said, I want to contest elections, people want me to contest elections, no one was reprimanding him. No one was issuing a clarification. The party kept quiet, which means they were also playing along. So I think there was a larger game behind it. You create this smoke screen. You keep that confusion going. Ki kya ye Vadra ho? I think they were loving it. I think the Gandhis were loving the fact that there was so much of speculation going on and pot shots being taken. So yeah, I think so. Advaita has gone somewhere. So who takes
Can
over?
I ask
Sandeep, you take over. Yeah.
Can I ask a question to Pallavi?
Yeah.
The thing is, Pallavi, since you have been there and all, how keen was Priyanka to contest from Raebareli or Amethi? Because I'm hearing that she wanted to, but there was opposition from within. Was she keen?
Well, I mean, we'll never come to know for sure, but Joyeeta, like, just see, put yourself in her position. Why would she not be keen? Let's put it that way. Why would she not be keen? She's definitely ambitious, and there's nothing wrong in that. And she, as long as her children were small, she actually had a reason not to do it because she knew that she wanted to give 24/7. She couldn't have done it when the kids are small. But having taken the plunge, become general secretary in charge of Eastern Uttar Pradesh, Eastern Uttar Pradesh, and campaigning all the time, being the troubleshooter, the next step obviously would have been to contest. And I'm sure she wanted to contest, but this was the reason which was given. Too much into the family. Teen log from the same family in the parliament would be a bit too much. And which again doesn't make sense to me personally. And also the fact is that they need someone to campaign, which is very sad. They need someone to campaign. Today, if you look at the Congress party, you have a Modi who's good enough on his own, people say. You have an Amit Shah also who just backs him up. In the Congress, there's really is a dearth of good communicators. Priyanka actually does that. So whether it's taking on the PM on the Mangal Sutra issue and then that Shahadat, mere baap ki Shahadat, we might disagree with a lot of what she's saying. But in terms of it going viral, she made more impact in the Congress party.
Joyita, don't you think with Priyanka Vadra having now entered active politics, it's been about 5 years, if not more. that she's been an active politics. She was immediately made general secretary, so she had the platform. But and then she got was in charge of UP. Okay, they did poorly, very badly actually. Only won one seat, which was Raebareli in 2019. But she had the opportunity. She's had the time now to have really focused on UP. But that's not something that she seems to have done. Like her brother, in fact, her brother is more active in everyday politics than she is. She kind of comes and goes.
Yes, and I mean, she was also made general secretary without any, given charge of any portfolio. So basically, the whole speculation is about whether it is about Rahul does not want her to be in the forefront, or whether there is some opposition from the mother's side. But at the same time, if you're looking at it strictly from the point of achievements, okay, she is very popular amongst her circle. She's popular, as Pallavi also said, with journalists and all. But the thing is, in terms of actual political achievement, what has she done? In all these 5 or 6 years that she has been there, what has she done? Except for ensuring the seats for her mother. And the last time it did not happen, even Rahul could not win. So the whole point, if you're looking at it in terms of achievement, she has not really done anything. We remember by sweeping the floor before I think jharu lagana and all that ahead of the elections in UP. I mean,
2022, yeah.
I saw at that time, people who are very pro Congress, they were so excited about it, that this lady is coming and, being so people friendly and all. But when it actually came to voting, it did not matter. So the whole point is that, you see, do the brother and sister, have they been able to catch people's imagination or not? All right, because I remember seeing at the same time lots of interviews where there's this huge convoy of Priyanka Gandhi going through Raebareli and Amethi and all that, those areas. But people's response is that, oh, we are not interested. So you see, until and unless it is just looking like somebody, just a family name, maybe it will help them in Raebareli, and I don't think it's going to help them in Amethi. The thing is that, but outside the confines of that Lok Sabha constituency, even in Raebareli for that matter, if you're looking at the assembly constituency, what exactly is her impact? Has she been able to prove herself? No, she hasn't.
Yeah, the other point is that how many are there in the Congress party? And if let's talk about Rahul Gandhi also, then how much has he proved himself? But he keeps on getting a chance, right? Over there, his failure has not been a reason why he's been denied the chance. In the case of Priyanka, her failure often becomes the reason that she's been denied the chance. I mean, frankly speaking, barring the UP disaster, which you cannot blame entirely on her, because we saw what was happening on the ground, the Congress party had no organization, and there's no magic wand here, so they couldn't have done it. But that's not a defense of her. But my point is that when it comes to troubleshooting, she has definitely been more successful. She was the one who was able to ensure that Sachin Pilot goes back to Rajasthan. Otherwise, he was in a mood to give it all up. She was also able to ensure that Sukhu's chair does not go as a CM. And she was also able to ensure that Vikramaditya Singh contests and agrees to contest against Kangana, because anyone else would have been a terrible fight. Will be a fight. In that sense, internal party organization, which she definitely has been more successful. She listened. Like Anand Sharma. I remember I was there, the Congress manifesto. We were all very perplexed to see Anand Sharma chat with her for 45 minutes in one corner. And this was just after Anand had written a letter to the Congress president saying he has a problem with this caste census. Yet she spoke to him for 45 minutes, and then she made him contest also from Kangra. So that's how you co-opt. You also need to co-opt people who are rebelling. Rahul Gandhi hota, jana hai to jaye. That way she's different. So I'm saying that if his failure does not stop him from getting a chance, why should her failure within the Congress stop her from getting a chance?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that should not get into the way, get in the way, especially in a party like like the Congress, which is a family firm. But then on the other hand, Joyita and then Sandeep after that is you have someone like Smriti Irani, who's a fighter. I mean, she's kind of made it all the way to where she has by fighting every step of the way. Fighting because she's a woman, fighting because she's an actress, fighting because she has no political lineage and no like constituency in place at the start of her career. She's fought and fought and fought. And this kind of avoiding a face off with her again makes it feel or seem or gives the perception that the Gandhis really don't have the stomach for a knockout political bout at the hustings.
Well, Advaita, Smriti Irani is the ultimate self-made woman. And I think a lot of that animosity, and I would say Congress's unhappiness with her, it smacks of, it's as personal. Do you remember, did you read that Jairam Ramesh post? You know, when I was reading about, now Smriti Irani is not going to get the limelight that she would have, sought. I mean, for a few seconds, I was thought, is this a satirical, is this a parody account? I mean, because the whole thing seems so totally off. It was that hatred, that animosity was almost personal, which is actually, I would say, very, very immature in politics. You see, the whole point is that the very fact that they did not fight, from Raebareli, I mean, from Amethi, is a giveaway, is a huge giveaway that, that they are not ready, they don't have the stomach for a fight. Simple as that. And now, even although it is being said that they will be going, I mean, Priyanka will be going and spending time in Amethi and campaigning for KL Sharma. Well, will that really be the case? How much will that be as intense? I mean, in terms of optics, looking at it as journalists, somebody who is looking for a good photo op, will I like to see Priyanka Gandhi Vadra with one KL Sharma on the top of a van, on a truck? It doesn't have that photo messaging. Okay, so it will really not have an impact, even for onlookers for that matter. So I think even her intervention in Amethi will not be that much as intense it is going to be in Raebareli.
And Sandeep, to dismiss her as some sort of headline chaser, I mean, this is a person who lost the 2014 elections, was trolled for the entire term, that 5 year term, because she lost and was mocked by the Congress for even daring to contest against Rahul Gandhi. Then returns in 2019, wins in a very decisive way, shows him the door, to the extent that in the time since 2019 and now, Rahul Gandhi has only returned to Amethi on 3 occasions, and she's ready to and she's battle ready even today, if any of the Gandhis were going to fight from Amethi. But what you have is them retreating and then saying she's doing it all for publicity, which is so absurd. This is politics. She has a right to fight in a constituency that she's won and that she's built a home in. And if she was chasing headlines, then she would have run to Amethi, abandoned Amethi, and gone to this place, to Raebareli. It's right next door. So the people who actually are chasing headlines are the people who are running from one constituency to the next.
Advaita, much more than anything else, there is a huge amount of misogyny in this, not just among the in the Congress, but a lot of the Congress supporters and everybody else. Otherwise, any person, the questions you're asking, politics apart, they should have, said the same thing, even if they didn't want her. They were supporting the Congress and didn't want her to win, but they would have acknowledged many of these factors. But there is, I think, this a very inherent misogyny in our society as well, which comes through in this entire attitude towards Smriti Irani. Then the other baggage with Smriti, and again, it's an extension of the same misogynistic principle. People see in her proxy for attacking Narendra Modi. There is this whole assumption that whatever she is today is because of the support she has received from the Prime Minister and the confidence she enjoys, and she in some ways represents the Prime Minister in these places. So taking her on is also trying to get even the Prime Minister. That's why you're saying, if this is true, that they are investing so disproportionately by letting Pallavi can, I think, vouch, tell us if this is true. They're saying that Ashok Gehlot and Bhupesh Baghel are going to camp in Raebareli and Amethi for the rest of the period. So, have you ever heard of this kind of a thing? That two former chief ministers, apart from everybody else, I'm sure, just to record their loyalty to the family, they would all show up over there to do campaigning. But these people are putting in now. Obviously, Advaita, the Gandhis are very sensitive this time of having a setback. They didn't want to lose at any cost wherever. That's why the hesitation of going to Amethi, they didn't go to Amethi. And Raebareli also, having gone there after a lot of consideration, they just don't want to leave anything to chance. And going a step beyond, they think they'll score a bonanza if they're able to defeat Smriti with one of their family retainers. That's where they are coming from. So there is, there's much beyond politics. I think that is where, look at the kind of comments to say that she'll be shown her place. What do you mean by showing her place? That is where this whole Namdar, Kamdar kind of thing comes in.
It's so elitist. It's so elitist.
It's very elitist. And, they're saying that she will be put into a place. What do you mean by place over there? And that shows, that very, very visceral hatred which the family has for Modi and anybody they associate closely with Modi. They wouldn't have talked about this had there been another candidate, let's say from Amethi, another BJP candidate, however strong. They would not use such terms as showing the place. That is, I find, extremely, extremely objectionable and quite shameful.
A very interesting tidbit which I was told about this today only, that apparently when the last time round Smriti won from Amethi, and the Gandhis were angry, the Congress top leaders were angry. They never get upset, they get angry. Angry that how come Rahul lost. So they decided कि अब हम मजा चखाएंगे, next election में we're going to ensure that someone who has managed a constituency, someone who's not from the Gandhi family, will stand up to Smriti. So as to downsize the fight. And that is when actually the thought of choosing KL Sharma came up. कि जो हमारा caretaker या manager था, वो ये है इस लायक कि स्मृति को take on करे. Second quick thing is, today I was seeing all the posters when Mr. KL Sharma was campaigning. He started doing this now. So he was going to at least 5 sabhas I saw. He's sitting on stage and behind him are posters of Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. So this is the kind of narrative that they're going to paint. That he's like, someone was telling me in Amethi कि madam वो है ना जब राम चले गए थे वनवास पे तो लक्ष्मण ने वो उनका वो खड़ाऊ रखा था तो actually वो खड़ाऊ हैं. I said, what are you saying here? But how can you run down your own person like this? I mean, respect that man. To be fair, KL is actually quite a nice man. And he's been a very good manager. He knows it back of his hand. Ek file, everything he knows. You cannot run down someone who has managed your constituency by calling him a khadao of the Gandhis. So that is the kind of thing. And the fact, of course, औकात दिखा देंगे स्मृति को कौन पूछता है अब स्मृति को तब उन्होंने फेमस होते आई रिमेंबर समवन वाज टेलिंग मी दैट डे अरे स्मृति तो मंत्री भी नहीं बनेगी अब क्यों बनाएगा मोदी उसको मंत्री वो हराई थी इसने बना दिया दिस इज द वे दे टॉक
it seems almost it's almost like remember Mani Shankar Raya's chai wala jibe it sounds almost like that. So I think it's extremely problematic, that mindset where you do not, I mean, you have, this is a very elitist, as you mentioned, elitist, royalty kind of, very feudal at one level, I would say, the mindset where, everything comes from one family. You do not value, even this KL Sharma, from whatever I'm hearing, he has been doing a reasonably good job in terms of managing the constituency. I mean, views may differ, but the very fact that your whole aim and target aim is to basically Smriti ko, we will show her place. We will show her her place. Now that is problematic. That mindset is problematic. That's why I said, it's almost personal.
But Joyita, I think she's got guts to take on the entire machinery. Not once, not twice, but now for the third time. Because even when we saw with Shashi Tharoor, when he just merely challenged, was a challenger, not of a Gandhi, but of a Gandhi appointee, Kharge, for the Congress president's position, the kind of muck that was flung at him, right? And this is an internal party election. So imagine someone like Smriti, who's an outsider, literally outsider to politics, outsider to the party. The what she has had to face consistently has only made her stronger, and what they have had to face being challenged by her from going from Smriti who to literally handing over the constituency to her, which has been in their family for generations, to her building a house in Amethi. I mean, she's answered them
And
back,
she's a voter. She's going to vote there.
and she's a voter.
And not just that, ultimately running away from them. Whatever spin the Congress might be giving to this whole thing, the fact of the matter is that Rahul Gandhi has run away from Amethi. So from Smriti who to basically, okay, I'm going to fight from a constituency where I feel it is reasonably safe. I know lots of people who are pro-Congress, even among journalists and all, they are trying to spin it as a great strategy. And yes, I agree. When you are certain, when you are not certain about winning a particular seat, it makes more sense for you to go to another seat. But then do not try to look down upon a person who has defeated you, who has stood up against, as you said, the machinery. Don't try to say things like, oh, what is our aukat? I mean, for God's sake. I mean, people, all of us, women like us, we have all risen up. We know how difficult it is.
Yeah,
So you see, I mean,
absolutely.
frankly, full sympathies to Smriti Irani as far as I'm concerned. And I would like to, if they really think that, she doesn't have any aukat and all, I definitely would like to see a debate between brother and sister and on one side and Smriti Irani on the other. I would really like to see that.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
would
I
be
think
great fun actually.
she can take them both
That would
on
be a
like
great one.
simultaneously. There's no doubt about that, because she just she has those gifts. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
She is a gifted politician,
She's
whatever you may
extremely
think.
witty also. I love her sense of humor. I love her Instagram account. She's really funky. You should go, Joyda, you must go through Smriti's Instagram. That ability to make fun of herself. That is also something which comes out only in her Insta accounts.
Our
I mean,
viewers are
let's
saying
put it this way,
that
it's
could be a
far
roasting
easier
session.
for us to idolize, not idolize, to look up to someone
Identify.
like Smriti.
Identify
Yeah.
also, right?
Yeah,
Identify also
identify
with
as
someone
well,
like
yes.
her, because she's actually come out of nowhere and made a place for herself in a very male dominated field. And I'm saying this, like, not only the Congress, that's of course inter party, but even intra party, even within the BJP, I'm sure she's had many battles to fight to get to this point. And
Correct.
to accept the challenge. And for me, it's very simple. What It's always what's at stake, right? If Smriti had lost for the second time in 2019, she would have been relegated to the margins of politics. There was a lot
And
for her to lose. For Rahul
and
Gandhi to
also
lose the
Advaita,
constituency
she
meant
had
that,
to win.
one second, uh, uh, just let me finish. For Rahul Gandhi to lose that constituency would have been, oh, he won Wayanad, he's in politics, he's in parliament, he's still the numero uno in the Congress. He had not much to lose if he lost this, but she had a hell of a lot to lose.
And also the Prime Minister, because Modi had gone and campaigned for her in Amethi as well. So, he had also taken a huge gamble. I mean, it was almost unthinkable that you can defeat the Gandhis from their bastion. And one defeat ke baad, there were many in the BJP said, what a wrong strategy. But then they decided to make a stand again in 2019. It was a huge gamble which was taken by the PM also. So apart from Smriti's prestige at stake, it was also that of the PM. And I think that's the reason why PM, kind of that day also I saw when Rahul Gandhi announced from rivalry. I remember he was in Murshidabad or someplace, and he did say this, ये लोग स्मित डर गए, शहजादा डर गया, डरो मत, भागो मत, And then he says, "Ye log Smriti se dar gaye." That's a huge statement coming in from PM. He's taken her name and he's made the point that, she is a warrior, she's a fighter, and you're scared of her. So it was also his own prestige and a lot of things, his calculations, which were at stake. Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, they've attacked her kids. They've done everything possible. That I was pointing out the kids in particular because being a mother, apart from being a public, must be one of the most, if not the most important role she plays in her life. And they've gone
Her
for her kids
personal
as well.
life, her personal
That's
life, her
politics for you
cinema,
guys. But I just want to
everything.
thank both of you. Yeah, she's frozen even at home. Yeah, Pallavi, what do you say?
No, I said, yeah. Even it's sad. Politics is like that, but then Congress claims to be different, right?
Can I make
Yeah,
a quick
Joy.
point? I think this is the fundamental problem with the Congress, the inability to understand how the country has changed, how people's mindsets have changed. That, someone like Smriti Irani can actually be liked by people for what she is there done, from where she has risen to where she has risen, from Prime Minister Modi to have risen where he has risen, that people actually can appreciate that fact. I don't think that they realize this. I don't think they can look beyond that, elitist, exclusive kind of place that they're coming from. Think of it, contrast this with what happened in Odisha. That lady said, held a press conference and said that I don't have the money, nobody is interested whether I can find. That is the huge gap from where the people in Delhi and some families are in Congress and where that Mohanty lady, she is there. That gap is actually what the Congress has become. And that distance is between the Congress and the people. So this is the, I think, fundamental problem with the party.
Well, in conclusion, I mean, they say pride goes before a fall, but that doesn't seem to be the case over here. And I think that's one of the reasons why they are failing the way they are. But hopefully, we can only discuss because that's what we do here. And thank you, both of you, for bringing your experience to this conversation about, I think, in all fairness, two very important women in Indian politics. And I don't want to take that away from either of the two ladies, including Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, although we do identify more with Smriti being someone who's self-made and, had to really go out there and stick her neck out and get into situations which Priyanka Vadra would frankly never find herself in because of the family she was born into. So, but nonetheless, wishing her all the best as well. And hopefully, her family first, and then her party will realize that she has more to offer than these seasonal appearances in Indian politics. But that's all for now, folks. We're going to be back again. I want to do shows on these key seats, like for example Kangana's versus Vikramaditya in Himachal, then the Krishnanagar seat, then the Baramati seat. I want to actually come and focus on each seat. So I'd love it, Joyeeta, and of course Pallavi, if you find the time whenever you can to join me for that.
And I tell you, the men on our Sunday club are having a major FOMO, but I think we three women actually have. It was fun actually to have an all-woman show.
I mean, Sandeep was not even invited, but he turned up.
Yeah, so that goes on the show, na FOMO. They have to come in. I'm getting messages from Abhijit. How could you do this without me?
I messaged. And the funny thing is that he eventually had to leave because he had nothing, like, he was like, so then he's like, bye. So, this is, guys, this is how women have to make space for themselves, even on the Sunday club. We have to kind of subtle ways of communicating. But yes, but thank you so much, ladies, for joining me.
You.
And
nice to you, Joyeeta.
Thanks, Joyeeta.
Thank you for
Bye,
coming.
everyone.
Bye.
Please like, share, subscribe.
Bye.